And the last couple days, they put out for the entire league a full breakdown of best case scenario for each team and worst case scenario for each team. So I'm going to give you theirs, and then we're going to break this down from our perspective, what the best and worst case scenario for the Patriots could be this year. I'll also
are we actually, let me ask you this. Tequila, I always like to know the boundaries, or put the bumper guards in the bowling lane. Are we being realistic with our best and worst case scenario?
Yeah, because best case scenario is 17-0 and worst case scenario is 0-17. And I don't think we think either of those are in
You said
play.
one of those was on the table last year. So.
And it was. I stand by it. I think that team could have easily gone 0-17. I really do.
I wish they did.
I kind of wish they did too, just so I could have double birds to the entire football world, sports talk radio, and everybody. Y'all would have gone down with the ship. But, okay, so best case scenario, according to my friends over at Pro Football Network, Patriots go 9-8, and this is the little write-up.
Okay.
On paper, the New England Patriots should be one of the most improved teams in the NFL in 2025. They added Diggs, Campbell, Travion Henderson on their offense, and they brought in Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, Harold Landry, and Robert Spillane to shore up the defense. New head coach Mike Vrabel figures to be an upgrade over Gerard Mayo, and Drake May showed encouraging flashes in his rookie year. If May takes the leap in year 2 and their acquisitions pan out, don't be surprised if the Patriots' record improves significantly this season. So 9-8. That's their best case scenario, and keep that in mind when you're retorting, Fitzy, as I know you will. And then their worst case scenario for your New England Patriots, 5-12. The New England Patriots now have a proven NFL head coach in Mike Vrabel. They upgraded their roster with what I just said. A lot has changed in Foxborough this calendar year. While the additions look promising, the Patriots have finished 4-13 each of the last 2 seasons. This roster likely isn't a one-off-season fix, as their offense could still use some reinforcements around Drake May. Expect them to be better than last year, but a worst-case scenario for them would only see minimal improvement, as in one more win at 5-12. So that's what they have set as sort of the polls for you to work with there. 9-8's best-case scenario. 5-12 is worst case scenario. So Nick Fitzy Stevens, ever the optimist in football down in Foxborough, what is the best case scenario for your New England Patriots this season?
Best case scenario for the Patriots is double-digit victories and a wild card berth in the 2025 NFL playoffs.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, you out of your mind, bro? I think it's realistic, and yes. We've made a lot about the easy schedule that actually isn't quite as easy as everyone else makes it out.
We're already backtracking on the easiness of the schedule?
No, I'm saying it's listed as per last year's results, the third easiest schedule in the NFL. But we all know that it's going to be much harder than the third easiest schedule in the NFL.
When the Raiders smoke you on opening day, it won't look so easy.
It's not going to smoke them. It's just going to be a tougher game. People forget that the Raiders upgraded significantly at quarterback and also added one of the best running back prospects college football has churned out this century. So they're going to be a massive improvement. And like I said, and I'll say it again, Will Campbell, who is one of the stars of Forged in Foxborough Episode 2, which we'll review coming up later on in this football o'clock hour. He's got a face full of difficult for the first 3 games, having to go up against freaking Max Crosby, Jalen Phillips, and then the $41 million man from Pittsburgh and TJ Watt. But a best case scenario sees them win more games than they lose, go a game above PFN, 10-7, and they clip that 7th and final playoff berth, and then all of a sudden the Patriots become that team, Andy. Like, wow, Mike Vrabel did it. He took them from worst to, well, maybe not first, but like, what a turnaround.
I'm actually with you. I think best case scenario, this team wins 10 games. I think they're a 10-7 team.
An awesome season by all accounts.
That probably should get you a wild card berth. No guarantees. Maybe you miss the playoffs at 10-7, whatever. It's still a double-digit win season. Because I sort of have locked in on my mind here. This is an 8-win team that if things go poorly is a 6-win team, and if they go well, it's a 10-win team. And the schedule, the upside of some of their athletes, as much as you know I question questions. I always question everything, including questions, and there are questions at line, and there are questions at receiver. Well, if Will Campbell can play, and Morgan Moses can play, and my guy Pop Douglas catches 94 balls. Like you're starting to talk yourself.
94.
Yeah, I don't know
Damn,
why didn't I just go 95 there? It's kind of weird. But I went 94. If he catches
Fine.
94 balls,
94 was a playoff season for the Pats. It's
the
cool.
running backs are a great complementary trio with Travion Henderson, Gibson, and obviously Ramondre Stevenson. Like I can talk myself into Josh McDaniels coaching this up into a 10-win team. I've seen him do it before with questionable talent. So in a best-case scenario, I want to remind people, we're not talking what we're predicting. We're saying best-case scenario. I do think the New England Patriots are a 10-win football team that could make the playoffs. So I actually think Pro Football Network is a little low here, which is a weird spot for me because I've been yelling at all you people for overrating the Patriots all offseason, and now I'm like, well, they're a little better than this guy gives them credit for at Pro Football Network. So
think about, isn't this crazy, though, that a 9-win season for the Patriots would actually represent more than double their win total from last year, which by all accounts in most franchises and in other cities would be a massive improvement. And yet here, where the standard is different because of what was set by Brady, Belichick, and company for 2 decades, not having 4-win seasons, please, that's beyond unacceptable. 2 worst years of owner Robert Kraft's existence professionally. But not getting back to that plateau is beyond unacceptable. It's shocking, quite frankly. Like that's just the standard. It's supposed to have been raised permanently. Like the Steelers struggled a little bit for a while, but how many years in a row are we going on Mike Tomlin not having a losing season? Almost 2 straight decades. That should be the way you carry yourselves in composed business.
Yeah, I believe 9 wins is triple the wins for this team because I consider them a 3-win football team a year ago. The 4th win was a Bills loss. It wasn't really a Patriots win. They were a 3-win
team. That's actually a
team.
very fair assessment.
Right. They won 3 games last year. You win 9 this year. You triple your win total. That is a massive step forward for the organization, for Mike Vrabel. Okay, enough positivity on this frickin' show. Let's get to the worst case scenario for your New England Patriots. Pro Football Network says it's 5-12. I'll go first. I think that's too low. I'm a little bit more middling on my scenarios here. I'm going to say worst case scenario, you're a 6-win football team. Although I do leave out the caveat. If Drake May gets hurt, maybe 5 or 4 wins could be in play. But no, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say worst case scenario, you're a 6-11 football team. You take a step forward. As I just said, in my mind, they won 3 games last year. I don't care what the record books say. They're a 3-win team, so you double your win total in your first year under Mike Vrabel. You do that again the second year, guess what? You just became a 12-win football team, and you're well into the playoffs. Maybe you win a division. There are a lot of questions for this football team. We've enumerated them many times. The line is still a question. The receivers are still a question. Some of those questions are going to come up negative, although we'll get into it next segment. You've already had a positive at the wide receiver position, a very significant positive piece of information over the weekend at the wide receiver position. So maybe that'll trend in a good direction. I just think there are so many questions for a bad roster, a bad team, so many changes, too many cooks in the kitchen. There's a million ways I can parse this up. Injuries will happen, Fitzy. I don't think they're an overly deep football team. And if it all goes south, yeah, they're probably a 6-win football team, maybe a little bit worse than that.
43 out of 90 players as of right now, brand new to the New England Patriots organization. So the roster turnover is significant. And you know what? The starting lineups on both sides of the ball will be significantly different. Depth is a legitimate concern on both sides of the ball. And yes, maybe less so on the defensive side of the ball, the side both of us believe is going to be vastly superior, especially when the season starts, and likely will be carrying the team until the offense finds a groove. But I actually, crazy enough, I had 6-11 as well, Andy. So you win a few more games than last year, but you still feel kind of underwhelming given how much money was spent, who was brought in, what kind of grades the draft got, and of course, the coaching pedigree. Again, there's a ton about that in Forged in Foxborough episode 2, which we'll get into later this hour. But they believe, you get the feeling, listening to these guys, watching them, that they're going to be a lot better than even some of the most optimistic analysts and fans and radio guys like us are giving them credit for. And that's great. But when I say 6-11, here's why I say 6-11. Drake May doesn't have the time to make the plays because there are line issues. Drake May struggles a bit with Josh McDaniels' offense at first, and it's a bit too conservative for the liking of many. Steph Diggs is not able to gain the separation that he used to and isn't able to lead the wide receiver room out of the doldrums of being one of the bottom 25% of the receiver rooms in the NFL. The running backs are good, but again, line issues. And in a worst case scenario, if we find out that Will Campbell can't play left tackle in the NFL and is more of a guard, that's going to lead to some issues as well. So it's all, again, I keep banging this drum, and I'm going to keep banging it until either A, someone says, now I know why you were banging the drum, or B, somebody takes the drum away from me. It's all tied to the line. The success of this team, because I believe the defense is going to be very, very good, but it's all tied to the line and the health therein.